Welcome back to the Southside Blueprint. My name is Justin Tiede, and today I'm joined by Billy Rabbitt. And today we're going to be discussing one of our favorite holiday traditions here in Southern Maryland, the Holly Jolly Light Trail.
Ooh, my favorite event of the year.
So the Holly Jolly Light Trail, what is it, Billy?
Well, I'm glad thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So the Holly Jolly Light Trail is something that we came up with. Actually, it was during COVID. And we were kind of afraid. So we have kind of a young family, it was 2020 when we first started. We had a young family, and, Christmas has always been a really important holiday to us. And we really thought, with with COVID and this pandemic going on and things like that, we were a little afraid having this young family, were we going to miss Christmas? You know what I mean? And so we started looking around and started trying to think of ideas of how we could, spread a little bit of holiday cheer. The community was really in kind of a weird spot where, nobody knew what was normal anymore. We're all walking around with masks and things like that. We had to, social distance. And so we ended up coming up with this idea of like, hey, what if we could highlight or display to the community all the different Christmas displays or all the different holiday displays throughout Southern Maryland and kind of come up with a map or, kind of an interactive guide for people to know like who was decorating, who wasn't, because I know growing up, that was one of the things we did every year was we would go to, out to see different things. We'd go to, Bubby Knott's, we would do all these different things to kind of, just enjoy, Christmas. And so we said, what, let's do that. And we said, we can run a contest of who has the best display. So we kind of started off kind of small. We were hoping to get, 20 or 30 displays, and it really blew up. So the community really kind of backed behind it. And we ended up with over 300 displays that first year, which was really awesome. Yeah. So we've been doing it every year since. This is actually going to be our 6th year of doing the Holly Jolly Light Trail here in Southern Maryland, which is awesome. And every year, I would say, the displays get a little bit better. People get more behind it, excited for it. It's amazing. We opened up registration this year, and we had people within like seconds of us opening up registration.
Wow.
Them going in and registering, things like that. And we've had, many displays actually with us all 6 years, which is awesome.
No, that's awesome. I discovered the Holly Jolly Light Trail in 2023.
Okay.
And I thought it was a really good idea. I was surprised that there was nothing like that before. I think it does a really good job with two things. Is it gives people, a trail to go follow and look at a bunch of light displays, but it also gives those people who put in a ton of effort and work into decorating their house, it gives them like a medium to show people.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, it's really cool. I mean, there's, since we've been doing it, there's always has been like, community contests and things like that. Like Country Lakes does it. I know that the Ranch Estates was trying to do something like that. So everybody's kind of had like fun kind of community or neighborhood based, kind of contest. But, by doing this, it's always amazing how, like, even though we've got like over 14,000 people that follow the Facebook page, and that's really where it's kind of based around is our Facebook page. We go Facebook Live to, show off the displays. But it's really cool because so many people actually reach out and kind of tell us a story about their display. Maybe they did their display. Maybe they had just lost a loved one and they wanted to, do their display and honor them because, Grandpa always loved putting out the decorations every year and he got sick and, they were doing that in memory of him or, Mom, was, full of Christmas cheer every year and she just absolutely loved the holidays and, this was kind of, they thought maybe this would be her last Christmas and stuff like that. Or, new families coming in and saying, hey, I just bought my house this year and I want to decorate it. You know what I mean?
That's me.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of one of the coolest things of home ownership, is decorating your house for the first time or whatever. Lots of cussing that goes along with, having to put lights up on the roof and trying to figure it all out and lights don't work and all that stuff. But, I think that so many of us have these great core memories of growing up and really like experiencing Christmas and, holiday lights and holiday decorations is definitely part of it. So it's really cool to see how the community loves it. They're pumping it up, getting their friends, family, other people in the community involved with, voting for their display. It's really cool.
No, I think it is a really awesome thing. So for those who want to sign up, can you tell them a little bit about how the competition works and how they could sign up if they wanted to?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people ask us, like, hey, I don't do anything elaborate or something. And we have displays that literally it's one string of light and maybe one blow up. all the way to, they've got a full, they've got 5 computers running a light show out or whatever. Literally looks like an airstrip. You could probably land an airplane, at their house. So you have really like variations of that. And so we've tried to do the contest where, everybody gets involved. Last year we did it where it was kind of like a battle of the counties. We were, having a winner in, Charles County, Calvert County, and St. Mary's County. But really, we want to display everybody. So many times people reach out to us, and I think last year was one of the best things was they actually rented a party bus, and they were actually, I'm assuming alcohol was involved.
Right.
But they actually went out or whatever and actually did a whole bunch of displays. Actually, and they were just having a good time with, friends and family or whatever in the party bus.
That's
going out
cool.
to see the Holly Jolly. So I could only imagine, a bunch of, intoxicated Southern Marylanders, rolling out of this van to go look at some displays. But hey, that's what it's all about, and people just love it. And that's really why it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of work every year or whatever, but the joy that it brings so many people and hearing like when people come up to me and they're like, oh yeah, the Holly Jolly Light Trail. I'm like, yeah, our team, helps put that on every year. And they're like, really? That's great.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
No, of course.
Yeah. And we get so many like direct messages too about just appreciation of thanking us for all of the work and how many times, hey, we've loved this every year and stuff like that. I mean, imagine too, like we're like going out to see displays and like people are like literally like in their house, like peeping out the window because they know that we're almost there, or like, oh man, I've been tracking you all night and I just knew you were coming to my house, and so they're looking or they come running outside. And one of the coolest displays was, I think it was either the first or second year we did it. And it was definitely during COVID and things like that. But this guy had actually went out, and I guess one of the hobbies that he ended up with, I guess during COVID was jigsawing, like you cutting out like different like wooden like animals. And so we had like I don't know, probably about 1,000 different like creatures and animals and Santas and penguins. And he even had like this one that was it was a dog. It was a replica of like his dog or whatever that had just passed away that year or whatever. And that was like in remembrance of his dog or whatever. But I don't know, he was like so proud and he was waiting for us all night and he come running out or whatever, told us the whole story. So I was able to kind of walk around 1,000 different displays to kind of him tell us, what they all represented, which was cool.
No, it's pretty awesome. I think one thing you guys do well too is making it an event.
Yeah.
So we have the tour guides who go out and look at each property, and so it's an event. It's not like you just put it on. It's a very personable experience.
Yeah. No, for sure. And honestly too, like we do the Facebook Live videos. We're also getting videos and pictures from people that are doing that just so. Not everybody can go out and see all the displays, which I totally understand because they are pretty spread out from Nanjemoy down to Ridge, all the way up to, Anne Arundel County. So it's kind of spread out, but it's cool because you can kind of chime in at the same time every evening, see the light displays, different things like that, and just kind of enjoy that a little bit. And it's cool to see how many people have said that, hey, the Holly Jolly Light Trail has now become like a family tradition, which is awesome.
That is awesome. And for those who want to enter, there's no fee to enter.
No, absolutely. No fee at all. We actually have some sponsors, which is great. A lot of very supportive sponsors that help kind of contribute for the prizes, which is great. But yeah, I mean, you can visit. It's somdxmaslights.com. And pretty much that's the best way to go and find information about that. You're going to be able to print out printable guides for that. And then also we have an interactive map where you can go and see all their. And it's really neat. It's a Google map where you can actually just click on the different displays, see what's kind of around you or where you're going to be for that evening, and you can go and hit all of them, which is awesome.
No, that's awesome. And when people do come by to pick up their signs, we do ask for donations. So did you want to talk a little bit about the cause that we're supporting this year? Yeah,
so last year we helped sponsor a food pantry in Charles County. And it was really awesome. So we give out signs for people, free signs, so that they can put in the yard just to let their neighbors know that they're participating with the Holly Jolly Light Trail. Maybe hopefully get them a few extra votes. But yeah, we were just asking for donations if you could, canned food, things like that. And it was amazing, that food we donated. I don't know, it was pretty much a car full of food last year. And that food was gone within like a day or so at the food pantry. So certainly was that. And so this year we're actually sponsoring a food pantry, food kitchen down here in St. Mary's County. And that's what we're going to do to intend every year is just kind of find somewhere that we can help contribute or whatever, do that. You can pick up your sign either here at our office in Hollywood or at Waterstone Mortgage in Waldorf. Again, the dates are on our website, somdxmaslights.com, or follow us on Facebook. You can find us there too for all the information. Pick up the sign, donate whatever you got. I'm sure everybody's got some pickled beets or something in the pantry that you're not planning to eat. But there's certainly people in our community that would be more than happy to have that and might be their next meal.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So now that we have a lot of the details in place, what are some of your favorite stories from years past? I know you've touched on a little bit, but what are your favorite stories from the past years?
So many. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that we'll go out and we'll go out and get to meet people. I mean, that's probably the best part about it, or just hearing their stories, them sending a message and kind of giving us the why of why they're doing their display this year, or hey, we've always decorated. We didn't know about the contest. We wanted to join this year. And so many people ask us too, like, oh, I don't know if I have enough lights. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, encourage your neighbor to join, I mean, whoever, if somebody's got lights in their yard, register, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's just really just trying to highlight people because there are so many people that, this is such a big family tradition or whatever to enjoy the lights and allow them to come out and enjoy your lights. You know what I mean? All your hard work of just, decorating things like that. Plus the kids. I mean, it's all about the kids around the holiday time, in my opinion. Having, people come up and look at your Christmas lights and the kids are peeking out the window, they're all excited or whatever because people were seeing their display. It's really cool. So yeah, that's probably the best thing is that, I can't tell you how many times that I've tripped in a yard, going out, recording on it, and I trip over somebody's stuff or whatnot, or people telling us about they sped home to get to the house because they were out for that evening and the lights weren't working, or I don't know. They're just so many people have so many like I don't know, take so much pride in their decorations and in their displays and stuff like that, and it really shows. So.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool as a kid, but even as an adult, it's something that I've always loved Christmas lights. Yeah. And I think a lot of people who put up Christmas lights have a lot of pride in it. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited because, like I've said in the past, I've been out, going and looking at the lights and following along the trail. I'm excited this year to go as a tour guide.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And get to have that interaction with people and kind of, see their inspiration behind the lights because it's something I've always really enjoyed the Christmas lights.
No, it's cool. I think it allows us all to kind of, I don't know, tap back into our childhoods a little bit, you know what I mean? And kind of the magic around Christmas and Santa and all that. But also, too, I mean, you see so many different displays that are really, around, Jesus and the nativity sets that some people put out. I mean, it's really, really impressive. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much emotion that goes on with Christmas lights and things like that. And it's cool because as many Christmas lights or displays that I've seen over the last 6 years, I always go out and there's always like something that I'm like, wow, that's a really cool display. Or you see like some of like the old vintage, like plastic blown I don't know. There's just so many different things about it, but yeah, there's always something cool. And I can't wait to see, I'm sure there's gotta be like a 6-7 theme. Oh, yeah. There has to be. And I know my kids are going to go crazy because it's even a tradition for them too. So they know like the first night we go out for the holiday, we stop by Wawa and we go get some hot chocolate and we're off and going or whatever. And, it could be a long night of 2 or 3 hours of going out and seeing displays for the evening or whatever, but they love it. They do that. We get them involved with, telling about their favorite displays. So it's cool.
Yeah, I will say the amount of 6-7 Halloween costumes I saw was insane. So I can imagine some big 6-7s out in the yard.
I could just imagine Santa doing the 6-7 or something right now. So I can't wait. So it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to listen to that all night. But it's good stuff.
No, it's cool to see the creativity people have, like just going up 235, and I don't know if they do it anymore, but the Cousin Eddie decoration from National Lampoons.
No, definitely a lot of those. We had a Joe Biden display. I guess it was, I don't know, it was last year or the year before or whatever. So that was that got a lot of interest from people. So no, it's really cool. I mean, so many people, and again, this is for anybody that has 1 or 2 strings of lights to people that have like a whole schematic of, I'm sure upsetting all your neighbors because the lights are going on.
Clark Griswold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but no, this is really for everybody, and we love kind of honoring some of the people that really get behind it and get excited for it. And every year we have somebody new that becomes a winner, which is cool.
Awesome. Well, yeah. So Did you want to talk a little bit about the partnerships we have? I know you briefly mentioned the sponsors.
Yeah, so this year we've got a few sponsors, which is awesome. We have, of course, the Southside Group Real Estate is, our company has been a sponsor and kind of the hosting company for this, which is awesome. We have Waterstone Mortgage, so Neil Tipton out of Waldorf or whatnot. They've been good sponsors with us now for a couple of years. Lakeside Title is also one, and then also Lighthouse Title too. So a lot of local, real estate generated businesses or whatnot. But yeah, no, they're the ones that help kind of fund the contest and the gifts and the awards or whatever. So yeah, without them, we couldn't make this possible.
No, that's awesome. And you did touch on prizes earlier. Did you want to tell them exactly what they were? Because I think that might entice people too.
Yeah. So we've been pretty consistent, which we think is pretty good prize or whatnot. But we're going to award the top 5 displays this year. We're going to display them with $500 gift cards. So we're not going to necessarily. We'll tell everybody, I guess, who gets the most votes. But yeah, we're going to award the top 5 displays with $500.
That's awesome. And then going along with the winners, voting. I don't think we got into voting yet. So how does the voting work with?
Yeah, so to the voting, so we learned early on or whatnot, we had to have a very sophisticated voting system. So you're actually going to vote from our website, the somdxmslights.com. You vote from there, and it's going to be one user, one Facebook profile can cast one vote. So we go all the way down to us tracking IP addresses and
wow.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely some pretty wild technology, but we want to keep it fair and make sure that everybody gets a fair chance or whatever. But yeah, so we invest that into that or whatever, and yeah, it's a good time.
No, it's awesome. If you're gonna do it, you got to do it right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We couldn't let anybody corrupt our contest. So yeah, so to a point that I know where the votes are coming from by state, and we actually block out any of the out-of-country votes and stuff. So it's,
wow.
Yeah, we're very sophisticated over here at the Holly Jolly Light Trail.
That's awesome. Well, that was all I had. Did you want to have was there any other topics you wanted to discuss?
No, if you want to participate in this year's contest, please reach out. You can join, visit our Facebook or our Instagram. It's Southern Maryland Holly Jolly Light Trail. You can also find us at somdxmslights.com. And you can register, find out all the details. And coming soon, we'll have our interactive map. I think we're up to 64 displays already, which is awesome. And yeah, we'd love to have you join along, whether displaying your holiday cheer or by just casting a vote for your favorite display. So,
all righty,
sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining this episode of the Southside Blueprint, where we discuss the Holly Jolly Light Trail. We'll leave the links down below to sign up, and we hope to see you there.
Absolutely. Thanks, Southern Maryland.